today's video, how to slash proteinuria in half with just 2 pills. And also, the diabetes destroying food that actually works. Plus, don't miss the final part of today's video because I'll reveal the only caffeine-free energy booster that doesn't harm your kidneys. It actually protects them. Yeah, it's that powerful. Catherine here, I'm a doctor of natural medicine, and today I have something truly inspiring to share with you. This is the story of Frank, one of my patients who came to me scared, overwhelmed, and with dangerously high proteinuria levels. He reached out because his labs showed proteinuria above 600. And if you know anything about kidney health, you know that number is a huge red flag. Frank knew it too, and he was very worried. But I told him, don't panic, it's not too late. If you stick to the plan and stay disciplined with your diet and lifestyle, we can turn this around. And guess what? He did! Let me read you the message he recently posted on one of my videos. Just 4 months ago, my eGFR was 37, proteinuria at 600. I felt weak, scared, and honestly thought it was only going to get worse. I found Dr. Catherine and had a consultation with her. Now, eGFR is 58, proteinuria down to 250. But the best part, last weekend I hiked with my grandson for the first time in over a year. No stops, no gasping, just us walking and laughing. If you're out there losing hope, please don't. Healing is real. Keep going. I mean, wow, that's the kind of story that gives me goosebumps. Frank didn't just lower his proteinuria from 600 to 250. He didn't just raise his GFR from 37 to 58. He got his life back. He reclaimed joy. He reconnected with his family. He took back his future. And yes, he did it following my protocol. But more importantly, he did it because he never gave up. He put in the work, and that's why I'm so proud to share his journey with you today. Yes, Frank generously gave me permission to share some of the key steps that helped him achieve this incredible transformation. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at a couple of powerful science-backed remedies that help Frank reduce his proteinuria and could help you too. Starting with a remedy that's shockingly effective against proteinuria as long as you combine it with a second remedy. Now, it's important that we focus on proteinuria today because nothing says your kidneys are on fire quite like peeing out your own muscle tissue. And Frank was worried about this because he learned that proteinuria is both a sign of kidney damage and a predictor of kidney function decline, meaning that the higher it gets, the faster kidney function is going to decline. And I sometimes use a little analogy to explain how this works. Your GFR tells you, well, you are on the road to dialysis wheel, but proteinuria is your kidney damage speedometer. And trust me when I say you don't want to see 600 on your speedometer. So, how do we stomp on the brakes before it's too late? Well, luckily enough, we have a natural treatment for proteinuria that really works. Actually, this is a combination of 2 completely natural remedies that you should always take together if your proteinuria is too high. Let's take a look at my slide. The first remedy you want is a powerful root from TCM, astragalus. Astragalus is one of the most powerful remedies against proteinuria and kidney disease in general, if not the most powerful. Astragalus is so good that Cochrane Library basically gave it a standing ovation, but it can be made even more powerful, says science, if you combine it with the other remedy you see in my slide, curcumin 95% extract. Now, you should see the appropriate doses and the kind of supplement you want for both these 2 remedies on screen. But how does this work, you ask? Well, curcumin from turmeric is a powerful anti-inflammatory, and its ability to decrease inflammation combined with astragalus' properties of protecting kidney cells, reducing oxidative stress and modulating immune responses creates a synergistic effect. Together, they target NF-κB and TGF-beta1, two key pathways of inflammation and scarring, helping to reduce proteinuria, slow kidney damage, and support overall renal function. So yeah, that's how it works. Anyway, now that you know how to slam on the kidney damage brakes, be a good friend. Send this video to anyone with CKD, diabetes, high blood pressure, or a bad habit of trusting influencers more than science. But disclaimer, folks, this combo doesn't work if your diet is still garbage, alright? Taking astragalus while eating on a double bacon cheeseburger is like putting kale on a pizza and calling it healthy. Let's not be delusional. This stuff works as an adjunct treatment, meaning you still need to cut protein, eat plant-based, also get prescribed the appropriate medical treatment. I'm serious about this. If you are not treating proteinuria the best you can, you're basically speeding through a school zone with no brakes and a blindfold. And guys, I know that many of you watching me right now already understand the importance of the renal diet perfectly. I mean, when Frank shared his amazing results in the comments, people immediately started asking, wait, what diet are you on? What exactly did you eat? So let's see what he says about it. Diet-wise, I used to think I was eating healthy. Grilled chicken breast, rice, and maybe some broccoli on the side. But it wasn't helping. After talking with Dr. Catherine, I switched to a plant-based diet with whole grains, lots of fruits and veggies. I eat bitter gourd regularly now, not gonna lie. It's an acquired taste, and I sprinkle flaxseed on my oatmeal or smoothies. It's been a big change, but the results speak for themselves. Stick with it, it's worth it. Thank you, Frank, for being so, well, frank. And let's be honest, bitter gourd may not win any awards for flavor, but you don't eat it for the taste. You eat it because this thing is basically medicine in vegetable form. Let me show you what I mean. Bitter gourd or bitter melon is a food that blurs the line between nutrition and pharmacology. It's not just healthy, it's therapeutic. In this study right here, patients with type 2 diabetes who consume bitter melon daily saw major drops in HbA1c, the primary marker of long-term blood sugar control. They also lost weight, an added bonus. But here's the kicker. Ready? While the control group's creatinine levels increased as they lost kidney function, those who were eating bitter melon were able to keep their creatinine levels stable. Their kidneys were protected. And guys, that is huge. That was not obtained in combination with a renal diet, just bitter melon. Yes, this is a powerful example of how even one smart change can become part of a much bigger transformation. Frank combined bitter melon with a complete plant-based renal diet, and that's where the magic happened. The diet is the foundation. Everything else builds on that. So let's talk about the only thing that's standing between your kidneys and a long, slow slide into dialysis, the low-protein diet. Now, science says the low-protein diet does help improve GFR, but guess what? That's not even the main perk. No, the real magic is how it slams the brakes on proteinuria. You know, that symptom every CKD patient fears, but doctors still treat like background noise in a Zoom call. And yes, I know I've been shouting about low-protein diets for so long. I should be collecting royalties from lettuce farmers, I know. But here's the thing. What I'm going to show you next is new, like hot off the press kind of new. What's new, you ask? The low-protein diet also works for diabetes. That's now proven. And it's big. Let me tell you why. For decades, diabetic CKD patients have been told, you need more protein. That will fix it. as if protein was some kind of insulin-enhancing magic potion from a Harry Potter movie. In fact, this is still in the rule book today. And here's the problem. This idea that protein somehow fights diabetes is outdated, and it's gonna change in the future. I'm sure about that. No, I don't have a crystal ball, but I do have access to PubMed and a functioning brain. And what I can tell you is this: the idea that diabetics should eat more protein than non-diabetics is grade A, farm fresh, organically sourced, pastured-raised bull. Why am I telling you this? Well, for two reasons. First of all, because recommending to eat more food to people that need to lose weight is just as smart as treating a gambling addiction by buying more lottery tickets. I mean, you need to lose weight, but they tell you to eat more food as long as it's protein. Does that make sense to you? They say that if you eat an apple and hamburger, you are fine. But if you only eat the apple, your diabetes is going to get worse. That's not how things work. This idea that apples are dangerous, but that bacon-wrapped bacon is fine in moderation is about as medically accurate as draining a quart of blood to cure your black bile imbalance. Ever heard about calorie in, calorie out? And that's the first reason. Second reason why recommending more protein to diabetics must stop is because diabetic kidneys are just kidneys. Yes, you don't get a special model when your glucose goes up, and that's why recommending to still eat high-protein foods to a CKD patient in 2025 just because he has diabetes is just as smart as using astrology to dose insulin. So yeah, that's why the rules are going to change. Just hopefully before another 20 years of people end up in dialysis because of outdated guidelines. Yes, recommending chicken breast and egg whites to people with diabetes and CKD is going to age about as well as leech therapy and bloodletting. Moving on, let's talk about something that's not really aimed at improving your kidney function per se, but that really helped Frank with a very annoying symptom most kidney patients are facing. Let's talk about nocturia, also known as that adorable little nightly ritual where your bladder becomes your alarm clock. Now, if that sounds familiar, here's the tea, literally. I've got a tea combo that might just save your sleep and your sanity. One part hibiscus and one part dandelion, or as I call it, the bladder whisperer blend. In fact, as this recent meta-analysis concluded, taking these two remedies together is not just safe, they might even improve your kidney function while lowering your blood pressure. Hibiscus tea, it fights bacteria, aids with weight loss, and it's super rich in antioxidants. However, its main benefit is its ability to help diuresis, mostly thanks to the anthocyanins it contains. Powerful antioxidants, and more diuresis equals less blood pressure. In fact, a review of studies found that hibiscus tea lowered blood pressure by an average of 7.58 over 3.53 millimeters of mercury. But now you may ask, you talk about the combination. Is there a way to make hibiscus even more powerful? Yes, there is. It's the dandelion. And I know what it may look like. But this plant is a lot more than that thing in your lawn your dog pees on. The dandelion, scientific name Taraxacum officinale, is especially popular today as a way to detox and protect the kidneys. And the way this kind of tea works is by slightly reducing blood pressure and by increasing urination frequency. Yes, this herb can help in a safe and gentle way, stimulating the body getting rid of excess fluid, making your hibiscus tea even more powerful. Since these two herbal remedies have different mechanisms of action, they can be combined for an improved effect. So combine these two together, you can just put 2 tea bags in a single kettle and drink the tea during the morning and in the early afternoon, not before going to sleep. Remember, you want to decrease your fluid intake before going to bed, not to increase it, alright? And guys, when I make a video for this channel, I always try to give you advice that is going to help most of you. But let's be real. There is no one size fits all when it comes to the treatment for kidney disease. The remedies I recommended in this video may be gold for some of you, but they could be just meh for others. So, if you would like to receive more personalized advice, I can now offer one-on-one consultations to those of you that are determined to improve now. If you want, you can shoot me an email at catherine@newhopeforkidneypatients.com. It's also down in the description. The goal, creating a personalized strategy designed for your unique needs, your health goals, and your lifestyle. And I also want to mention I'm now offering a fully customized renal diet with every first consultation. So if you're ready to take real control of your kidney health, send me an email and book your consultation today. Let's take this next step together. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about another incredibly effective remedy I recommended Frank for a common issue many patients are facing. Fatigue, or as I call it, the human version of low battery mode. CKD-related fatigue is when you don't feel tired. You feel like you got run over by a truck. So let's take a look at the caffeine-free quick fix that doesn't just put you in state to, actually get things done. It will even protect your kidneys while doing it. Actually, diabetic patients taking this ancient remedy may benefit from a big drop in creatinine because this remedy is incredibly effective at reducing the inflammation. So yeah, if you are feeling tired and you have diabetes, this may be exactly the remedy you are looking for. Sounds interesting? Well, the remedy I'm talking about is a special type of ginseng called Panax red ginseng or Korean red ginseng. Now, Panax red ginseng is the exact definition of a very special and unique remedy. It's pretty hard to find and rather expensive compared to other types of ginseng. But if you have diabetes and want some extra energy without the downsides of caffeine, it may be totally worth it. In fact, I recommended this remedy to Frank and he says it's his favorite. I'm also convinced it helped him improve. That said, how do you find Panax red ginseng? Not all ginsengs are created equal. There are several types and qualities of ginseng, and you should be able to tell them apart. This one on the right is Asian ginseng. This is easy to find but not nearly as effective as Panax ginseng. Now take a look at this one on the left. This is Panax Noto ginseng. I talk about this in a different video because it's also effective for diabetes and CKD. However, it's not going to help with fatigue. This is better for relaxation. But this one in the middle with its characteristic dark red color is Panax red ginseng. It's harder to find because it needs to grow for 6 years before getting harvested. But it's one of the most effective remedies we have. And it's one of the few remedies that can really give you a serious energy boost, but without caffeine. And guys, if you want to know more about the best remedies for your kidneys, my video up here is for you, and this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye-bye.